Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. Today I'm going to cover Solana for you guys. I got some updates that I wanted to get out to you. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a quick like. All right, let's jump into it. All right, so Solana, $32. It's doing really well. Hopefully it keeps holding up into this range. If it doesn't, though, that's fine with me because it gives people more time to accumulate. I know with Solana pumping recently because of Bitcoin's pump, a lot of people are looking for an entry point into Solana. They're seeing how good that it's reacting to Bitcoin's pump, so it's a really good sign that it's going to do well in the upcoming bull run. I wanted to cover some articles with you guys in here and a short video clip about an interview with Solana covering some things. Solana Labs plans to grow ecosystem through new incubator program. And I'll put the links for these in the description of the video like I always do so you guys can read through these because I can't cover everything in the video or it'll make it too long. But this is basically talking about Solana. They're launching an incubator program for new projects that want to launch on Solana, and they're going to actually provide funding and training to train these people how to build on the Solana ecosystem. So this is really exciting. They're going to try to help people out, and they know what it's like to be something new starting out on a new technology and trying to launch on it and the difficulties that come with that. So Solana's putting together this incubator program to help people get started and launched on Solana because a lot of people want to be launched on Solana, but it's not the easiest platform to build on. So they're launching this to help with that. So that's a good sign. Also want to show you guys on here, if you're not sure about which cryptos that could potentially be getting ETFs out here, Solana is definitely one of them. And you can kind of predict which products out there in crypto might be getting an ETF later on down the road. If you look at which investing companies are investing in them that are in the stock market currently and how much funds and stuff that they're putting into these. Grayscale is a major one that invests in crypto. They got an ETF coming out for Bitcoin. And, Grayscale, if you look at their products here for crypto, they already got several of them listed here. Solana is one of them. So they've got the Attention Token Trust. They've got the Bitcoin Cash Trust, Bitcoin Trust, Chainlink Trust, Decentraland Mana, Decentralized Finance, Digital Large Cap Fund. They got the Ethereum Classic, Ethereum Trust, Filecoin Trust, Horizon Trust, Litecoin, LivePeer, Solana Trust, and they've got Stellar Lumens, the XLM, and Zcash Trust. So these are some ones that Grayscale is looking at to provide to their customers. And the Grayscale Solana Trust is called GSOL. Right now its price is like $45. And if you look at the listing here, it spiked up to over $80 recently with this Solana pump. When Solana hit like $33, the Grayscale's Solana Trust got up to over $85. So really, really cool what they're doing to offer this product to some of their customers that don't want to have the difficulty of holding crypto in a wallet and stuff like that. So, but it's really cool that Grayscale's taking a look at Solana, and hopefully we'll see some Solana ETFs to be presented to the SEC in the future. I think that's going to be what's likely coming after Ethereum. And then there's an article here on the Grayscale Solana Trust overviews. As you can see, it got up to like over $84 recently in this Grayscale Trust. Right now it's around $45, so it's down 25% on the day. But this just kind of talks about it here. Seeks to provide investors a cost-effective and convenient way to invest in Solana tokens while avoiding complication of directly holding SOL. Held by the trust investment objectives for shares to reflect the value of Solana held by the trust determined by the reference to the index price, less the trust's expenses and other liabilities. So as you can see, the previous close yesterday was $61 for this, and today obviously it's at $45. But this one was up. I forget what the percentage when it was up for the year. It was up quite a bit for the year. Yeah, year-to-date return on this was 213% for the Solana Trust fund. So it would have been a good one to get invested in early. And just think of what the price on this thing is going to do. If it's at $45 right now and it peaked up to $84, just imagine what this thing will do in the bull run when Solana's in the hundreds of dollars. So I can just think about what price point this could possibly be at. A good sign for Solana that they're being looked at by some of these major investment companies. And I wanted to go over this video here, Solana's end game with Anatoly. He's from Solana, and basically they're kind of asking him all different questions. This is a long interview. It's an hour long. I'm just going to play like a minute of it here for you, a minute or two, just to kind of answer some of the questions out there about Solana's reliability, because I still see some comments on my videos from people who are really ignorant and aren't paying attention to Solana, that Solana's basically a shit network, that it goes down all the time. Well, it hasn't had an outage for a long time, and they've fixed some of the issues. He talks about it in this video, so I wanted to play a quick clip of this, of him talking about and what they're doing to resolve that issue. And actually, the part that's not in this video, he talks about how they're adding the Firedancer validator nodes, and that's going to be a second validator for Solana. So they'll be just like Ethereum. They'll be the only other network out there that has a true secondary validator. And they're going to be adding a third one. They're actually working on a third one already to make it even more robust and more reliable. So just keep in mind that Solana is adding more and more. So I'm going to play a quick bit of this video.
How do you feel about, last year's issue being in the review mirror? Do you feel confident? Is Firedancer part of that? Like what makes you confident that the future is going to look better than the past?
Well, like the past issues were all centered around like basically one design decision that we just didn't think hard enough on, but it's obvious in retrospect when we launched. And this is to do with hotspots and like kind of those like kind of very large demand spikes. For folks that don't know, basically Solana is a parallel virtual machine called SVM. It runs stuff in parallel. It's very, very cool. It's the bee's knees. So it can do many things at once, but there's other parts of the system that don't do everything at once. And you can think of one part of that system is like when you get a bunch of transactions and you decide what to run in parallel, like the block producer, the leader, in Solana, there's no mempool. So the block producer gets as many connections from different clients and just receives a shitload of transactions and then tries to find the best parallel ones to run in SVM. Well, before we had priority fees and this like idea of localized fee markets, when there was a hot NFT mint, botters would like create as many machines as they could around the internet, and they would all submit transactions trying to be first to be in that NFT mint. So many that it would like exceed the physical limits of what these machines could process, sometimes like hitting like 20, 40 gigabits per second of data. So we had to fix that problem, which was switching to Quick, which is a Google an internet standard built by Google, designed for this kind of low latency communication, but with the ability to do flow control. So that works out. The second part is that like even if you switch to Quick and you get a bunch of transactions, you don't want botters to create a shitload of machines and then just all be the only ones submitting data, because you're still dealing with a big pile of connections. So then we had this idea to do quality of service, where if you have some stake, you're guaranteed a certain amount of traffic. If you don't have any stake, you have a best effort on every machine that has stake to take some of their bandwidth, right? And give it to non-stake nodes. So if you have like an entire network of 2,200 Solana validators, each one of them allocates 10% of their bandwidth to non-stake nodes, you would have to attack all of them at the same time to prevent any non-stake transactions from going through, right? So that's a cool solution. And then once you get all this data, you got to sort it. And this is where the localized fee markets come in, where the way that SVM works, the way it creates parallelism, is that developers have to work a little harder in Solana. They have to tell the network which parts of the state they're going to read, which parts of the state they're going to write. You can think of these states as like buckets. And when you start creating transactions, you take the most expensive ones and you start filling up buckets based on the state they touch. And as soon as one bucket is full, you basically delay all the transactions that touch that bucket, and you fill up and you continue pulling the highest expensive ones as long as it doesn't touch that full bucket, right? Does that make sense? You can kind of visualize this, right? Every transaction has a bunch of stuff in it. You put the stuff in buckets. As soon as one is full of shoes or whatever, you can't take any more transactions with shoes. The shoe mint is full.
How do you decide when something is full? What does full mean in that context?
This comes from even if you have parallelism, when something all wants to mint the same NFT, they're all touching the same state, and you cannot parallelize that. There's nothing you can do. No zero knowledge magic, no L2. It's called a database hotspot. Everybody wants the exact same thing. There's no solution to this. So the only thing you can do is you can limit it. So there is only a certain amount of transactions that can touch the same state in a block that can be scheduled. But a block can have many multiples of these. So you can have 5 different hotspots or whatever, or 4. So if there's a hotspot, like a hot NFT mint, you fill up that hotspot first with the highest paying transactions that all want to touch that NFT mint, and then you're done. Anything else wants that NFT mint is delayed.
And so I've talked about this on my channel before too. So what they're doing is they're fixing that problem. They had these hotspots in the past where basically, these bots would all try to mint at the same time, and it would end up shutting the network down, basically locking the network up because it couldn't mint all those at once, and it's causing a problem. So now they've got this in place where it's going to take the fastest transactions first, the ones that pay the highest gas fees, and they're going to process those, and once the mint is done, it's done. It doesn't allow any more of those transactions to go through. It doesn't affect the network in a negative way. But yet they've got the other side of the network with Firedancer and that'll focus on the faster transactions and the cheap transactions like Visa's looking for their network, where they keep it separate, where there's stuff that are competitive, minting on the network that's competitive, where we want to pay higher gas fees, and then you've got the other side of the network where it's processing fast transactions with very almost zero fees for those. And so what they're adding with that with Firedancer is going to really help make it fast, and they're trying to get this in place so they can do the adoption with Visa and stuff like that. So right now they're also buying hardware and upgrading their network. He talks about that in this video as well. And what he's saying is right now they've got enough hardware to where they're able to keep up with the transactions very easily, and they continue to add more and more hardware to the network each year, because he said each year the cost of the hardware that they need goes down in price, so they're able to buy more and more, and they're going to get it to the point to where they shouldn't ever have to worry about any kind of congestion on the network. And if they get a third validator node, that's going to make Solana even faster and more reliable. So really interesting to see what the third one is going to be for Solana. Now, as you guys know, I think Solana is going to do really well in this bull run. But guys, nothing on my channel's financial advice. This is just my own personal opinion. I really think Solana is doing everything that it needs to be the Ethereum killer. Now, Ethereum's talking about doing some really good things in the future where they're going to have very low gas fees and that, but they're taking so long to implement that. If these other networks get the adoption first, they're going to take the lead. And it's taking Ethereum, they're just extremely slow in getting everything launched with that. Solana did a different approach. They went all in and went with the fast route to get the adoption. Yes, they had some hiccups in the beginning because they went that route, but now that they're fast, they're working on the reliability portion of it, and they're doing really well with that so far. My price predictions on Solana, as you guys know if you watch my videos, I'm just thinking that this is probably going to get it up between the $200 and $400 range, $250 to $400 range in the upcoming bull run. That's just my price prediction for it. That's gonna, I think if we got up to 400, if we take the price where it's at now, you've got 13 billion market cap at $32. I'm gonna take a calculator here and just calculate out what this could put Solana at. So let's say we want to get to $300. Let's say $325. It's about a 10x from where it's at currently. So basically you're going to take a 10x from its current price, and you're going to take a market cap of around $130 billion for Solana to get up to that $325 mark. So for it to get to $400 in the upcoming bull run, you're going to take $400 and divide it by its current price of $32, that's going to be a 12.5x. So if you 12.5 times the current market cap, I'll just do 13.5 billion. That's going to put it around 168 billion in market cap. Now, that's only double of what they did the last bull run. Typically, you're going to see, if you look at what Ethereum did in the past, it smashed its previous all-time highs by a lot in its consecutive bull runs. And I can see Solana doing something similar where it just explodes with everything that it's adding. I think it's going to be huge. So I'm thinking it'll likely get up to that $400 mark, but to be safe out there, I'm not saying you should wait. And I just want to be clear about this. Just because I think that a coin is going to get to a certain dollar amount, that does not mean that I'm waiting for that dollar amount to take out my profits. I'm going to be taking out my profits way before then. Way before then. I'm going to be taking out my profits on Solana, and I'm going to start in increments. I'm going to start taking it out probably around the $180 mark. When I get a 10x out of Solana, I'm going to take out a good chunk of it, and then maybe at 200 I take out another chunk, or just before 200, like $197 or something. Just an example, because you don't want to wait for those rounded numbers. And maybe I take out some at 225, 250, 300, and just take out in chunks on the way up. But I'm going to take out a good portion of it, at least 20 to 25%. Probably around that $180 mark, just in case something happens where it doesn't reach its all-time high. You want to be safe and take out profits early, guys, and not wait for magic dollar amounts. And this is going to be some of the hardest things that you'll do in the bull run, is take out profits. I know it seems silly, but it is the hardest thing that you'll do in the bull run, because coins are going to be freaking going crazy. They're going to be going nuts, and all that's going to be going on in your head is, God, it's going to keep going higher and higher, higher. I don't want to cash out now. I want to get as much of it as I can out of it as possible, and I'm going to wait a little bit longer, and then boom, the market crashes and you didn't take out profits and you're screwed. So make sure you take out the profits on the way up. It's very critical for you to be successful in crypto by taking out profits on the way up, and that's going to be the hardest thing that you're going to do in the bull run, is to take out profits. It really is, because you're going to be, your brain's going to be messing with you, telling you that the coin's going higher and higher. Don't take out now, because you're going to miss out on that profit. So keep that in mind, guys. But I really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a quick like. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified of my daily videos. That's pretty much what I've got for this one. We'll see you on the next one.